But we are saying this. The reason, why is it that of all the police formations in Rivers State, it's only SARS that the governor is talking about? It's because that is the agency, that's the unit of the police that would not allow those criminals to fester in Rivers State. If you take away SARS from Rivers State, people will run away. You are from Rivers State. You can't go to your village. A pastor was killed in your village for just receiving offering of 300,000 in the church.
Does that mean that any complaint or all complaints about SARS in Rivers is invalid?
No, I'm not saying that. Any complaint that is about SARS there's general complaint all over in the country about SARS, and that has to do with violation of human rights. But not that you should now say, oh, SARS is going to run election. SARS will not allow you to fester with those your criminals anymore.
This is what we have seen. This is what we have seen. I just want all of us to try and level with our viewers here, because all of us know the history. Let's not go back to 1999. Let's just start from, say, 2015 and then look at what's happening right now.
Exactly.
In 2015, you have a Minister of State for Education who's aspiring to be the governor of Rivers State. He's aligned with, of course, the federal government at that time under the PDP. There are elections conducted. Obviously, then Commissioner of Police Matthew Mbu had his running battles with the then governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi. Now you have the opposite situation. You have a Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi, the former governor of Rivers State, in Abuja. The federal government is under the APC. And now the former Minister of Education is now the governor of Rivers State in the opposition, just as it was the reverse before. And he is now complaining that federal might is being used against him as federal might was being used against the former governor by the minister when he was minister. So the governor when he was minister. So let me ask you, in view of all this, if we're looking at the core problems, the real problems here, does it not come back to the fact that we have severely weak institutions that align with the political parties in power to achieve the objectives of that political party?
No, I don't agree. What I want to say is that we have a gentleman who is a governor in my state, Rivers State, who used government institutions against his opponent while he had the opportunity. And being afraid that that would be possible a repeat on his side, he is always shouting. For instance, you know what Mbu did? Mbu will stop the governor on the way. He wouldn't let him use some roads. That is not happening in the state. You know that the former governor had an opportunity of sitting in council with security officers to discuss about the security of the state. That is not happening. Nobody is disturbing the governor. You hear the governor accusing the IG and saying, oh, IG, police wants to kill me. That didn't happen in the last time. So what we have is that a man is afraid of his shadows. And so the only way he can call for public sympathy against what he has done previously using police government institution is to always cry when there is no. I asked him a question. In 2015, we were complaining. He said we were all carrying out all the violence. So we were carrying out the violence. We carried the violence in 2015. They won the election. In 2016, when there was a rerun, APC had the violence. They won the election. Is that the point he wants Nigerians to believe? The point we are saying is that APC and Rivers people have reached to the point where we say, hey, no man has monopoly of violence. We will resist you when you come violent. If you want the election to be peaceful, everybody queue and then we'll move. But if you want the election to be violent, we are going to resist you. And that's exactly what's happened. In Rivers State, go and find out. They say this is called hashtag testing the microphone. So we're testing the microphone to send a message loud and clear to him that in 2019, we're going to resist the violence of PDP.
Does that not now mean that the 2019 elections essentially are going to be worse than what we've seen?
No, it's not going to be worse. It's sending a message to them so that everybody has to be civil and come on the same level playing ground.
Unfortunately, I didn't want to be reacting to remarks made about the person of the governor of Rivers State because it will serve no issue purpose. But clearly, Archie knows that he's misrepresenting the governor of Rivers State. And there's no way a chief security officer of a state would sit back and allow law and order breakdown in his state. Archie, please, I think we should get this point clear. Going forward, I want to ask one question now. How would Nigerians feel that a man facing multiple murder trial on bail jumped bail and refused to appear in court.
You're digressing
No,
from the
excuse me,
point of the
because you must
election.
address this problem.
Honorable
If you don't
Commissioner,
address them,
Honorable Commissioner,
excuse me, if you don't address this problem, you are saying we going forward.
He has made allegations about an election, and I was trying to get your response. You're taking it into
We
a
are
different
also
topic.
going to the same election because the same person who the police said they cannot find is the same person they were leading on election day, moving from one polling unit to the other. That is the point that I'm making. Can I respond to that point?
Okay, now that point has now been. Let's just say that point has been made.
Then
now,
going
please,
forward,
go ahead.
Going forward, the institutions you complained about are weak. All these talks about in 2015 they did it to us, in 2019 we will do it back to them and all that.
No, boss.
Will you continue to run this kind of course? Then what you're saying is that you're not ready to build a nation. Anything that is wrong today is wrong tomorrow. It remains wrong day after. That is my point.
What?
If people commit infractions, they should be punished.
I think
it doesn't matter who's office.
Let's see if we can do this in 2 minutes. If we could interrogate, because you're asking, the APC is asking that the elections, the results be declared.
Exactly.
Could you tell us, because INEC says out of 142 polling units, about 101, you had card readers smashed, ballot boxes were being taken away, there was violence and apprehension. So if you can tell me, on what basis are you saying they should declare the results? How many polling unit results do you have?
Now, let me explain. We have 142 polling units. The election procedure is simple. What INEC should do, according to law, is to say that we have done election in say, for instance,
I'm talking about you're asking for declaration of results. How many polling unit results do you have?
They should announce the results where there is no violence and say for reasons that the ones left.
Your chairman said you have results.
Yes.
That you also said you were leading.
Yes.
So how many polling units did you have? How many results did you have? Did you have all 142?
No, I'm not in a position to say exactly now in exact terms how many polling units. It's for INEC to say this is the results that in this area there was no violence, this is the number, and then there's violence in this area, so this area will be completed. And then if the result from the total result that has come out so far is such that when the other one is not, if election is done there, cannot outrun the other one, they declare. That is the principle. That's the principle.
Okay, well, since we can't verify all of this, but when my colleague talked about when the allegation you raised against the governor and your party chairman, that they was trying to bribe him to step down or something, is he contesting in the elections?
Bribe him? He didn't say bribe him to step down. Was that what he said? I don't know.
No, that's not what I said. What I was asking is about the 200 million naira allegation that he tried to pay him to skew the election in favor. That's what he's asking about.
Is he a candidate?
He's not a candidate. He's the party chairman. So, you know, some people will say, okay, gentlemen, I'll shut my eyes. Whatever is going to happen, if PDP is going to be violent, let me take the 200 million naira and get my eyes.
So the thing is, the elections have got to be concluded. What will your recommendations be? Because it can be suspended indefinitely.
It's going to be very dangerous, and it will set the worst precedent in our electoral history as a nation to allow anything to be made out of the process of last Saturday. The body fiber of the process had been so riddled by aggravated violence that it would be humanly unfair, illogical, and illegal to place anything positive on it. It's gone down and gone down completely. That exercise should be repeated.
Well, clearly, we do have a challenge in the state, so that needs to be sorted before the next elections come through. Gentlemen, we've had Mr. Achi Williams Rumbodo, who is a member of the APC, and then Emmanuel Oka, the Commissioner for Information in River State. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's the show today. Nata.